Hi everyone, I'm Marcy, and today you're in for a real treat because my next door neighbor Tracy is here and she's going to show us how to make some really delicious pumpkin squares.
Thank you, Marcy, for having me over. I've been so excited to come over and share an easy Thanksgiving or Christmas recipe. This is perfect for a crowd. You can serve it either hot or cold and ice cream and Cool Whip.
It sounds wonderful already, and I should say that Tracy is a fantastic cook and baker. People hire her all the time to make custom birthday cakes, so I'm excited about this, especially because you say it's easy.
Very
but
easy.
I know it's going to be good. Now we've already got everything all laid out here, but go ahead and go over what we need for this recipe.
Okay, so we need 1 can of evaporated milk, 3 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of sugar, 1 large can of pumpkin puree.
And you're going to want to make sure to get the pure pumpkin. This is not the pumpkin pie filling.
Right, correct. 3/4 cup of cold butter, 1 cup of either pecans, or you can also switch out with almonds, and 1 box of cake mix. Either you can do yellow or you can also do a French vanilla.
All right, well there's the ingredients, and I'll put all of them in the description box below and the measurements as well. Just click where it says more and you'll see the written recipe. But let's go ahead and get started, and you tell me what you need from me.
Sounds good.
We're going to be using a stand mixer today, but you can also mix this by hand in a large bowl. First pour in the evaporated milk, then crack in the 3 eggs. Add in the pumpkin pie spice, the salt, the sugar, and the pumpkin puree.
Can I have a spatula, please?
Yes, finally make myself useful.
And then also, can you turn on the oven to 350 to preheat?
Oh.
Because this doesn't take very long to mix.
You got it. Mix until smooth, then pour the pumpkin mixture into an ungreased 9 by 13 inch baking dish.
Perfect. All right. Okay, thank you.
I'll be the cleaner. Next, Tracy sprinkles the dry cake mix over the top and spreads it out as evenly as possible. So this is like a dump cake, huh?
It's almost like a dump cake, yes. But once it's baked, you will just want to eat the crust. That's so good.
Well, I'm already just wanting to eat the pecans here. In fact, I may need to put a few more in here because it's no longer a full cup.
Full cup, that's okay. So I'm just gonna kind of level it out a little bit so every part of the pie filling gets covered with the cake mix. All right, so now once we have the cake mix on top, we're gonna add the 3/4 cup of butter. And if you wanna melt it, you can melt it and then pour it on, or just cut it in cubes and then just do the same thing and just level it on top.
How do you prefer to do that?
I like it melted, just so it's easier to pour, and I know the whole cake mix gets covered.
Perfect.
So.
All right, the microwave's right here.
Perfect.
Is that good enough?
Yeah, perfect.
And here's the spatula.
All right, thank you. So now you're just gonna take the melted butter and just drizzle it all over the cake mix so it all gets covered. Get
it all in, all the goodness in there.
All the good fat, yes. Make sure that you kind of get everything all covered and just kind of spread the butter around.
Yeah, that's definitely easier than cutting up the...
Instead of having cubes, yeah, it doesn't melt as good. So I think melting the butter is more efficient.
It was at this point that we got so deep in conversation, we skipped one of the steps and went right to adding the final ingredient.
So if you want to go ahead and sprinkle what you didn't finish eating.
And I was going to say, I'm going to have to add a few more. Yeah, I accidentally ate a little more than I meant to.
That's what happens when you get fresh pecans.
And really, even though the recipe says 1 cup, you can add.
Oh, you can add as much as you want, as little as you want, or do half with pecans and half with almonds, or...
I'm just trying to make up for the ones that I was eating.
Perfect. All right, that looks good.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and take this to the oven. Perfect. You want to open it for me?
All right.
And how long does this go in for?
So I just realized that we put the pecans on a little early. So let's just bake it for 25 minutes and put a piece of foil over for the last 25 minutes so the pecans don't brown anymore.
It doesn't seem like a big problem. I'm sure it's going to be great.
It'll be great.
I'm sure it's a very forgiving recipe, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Don't worry. Oh, the smell.
Oh, it smells amazing. All right, you got the foil ready?
Yeah. So we'll just kind of loosely cover it.
After baking for 25 minutes, that's when you're supposed to add the nuts. Then put it back in the oven for an additional 20 to 25 minutes. But what we did is cover the dish loosely with foil for the remaining time so that the nuts wouldn't burn since they went in so early. All right, the moment of truth.
Okay.
Oh, that looks good.
Oh my gosh, this smell.
Smells amazing.
Yes, I wish you guys could smell it.
So no harm, no foul on the mix up there.
Oh, it looks just perfect. So if you happen to do that, definitely cover it with the foil. It looks good. It does look good.
That was smart. So we just pulled it out of the oven and it's now cooling, but Traci was kind enough to bake a batch last night and she brought that over so we don't have to wait for it to cool, so we can try this right now.
This one is with the almonds, so it's gonna be a total different flavor, so.
And it looks beautiful.
Yes.
And we cut ourselves a little sample size.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh. My goodness, it's delicious.
It's not too pumpkin-y. That's why I like this.
This is so good. Mm-hmm. It's close enough to a pumpkin pie where you could even serve this for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
But that crust, wow, it's fantastic.
It's my favorite part.
And I do like the toasted almonds as well. This is really delicious.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to finish this part right here.
And I'm anxious for the other one to cool so that I can compare. Pecans or almonds? This is so good. Traci, thank you so much for coming and sharing this recipe. I've been wanting to have her on for the longest time because you've made some really wonderful things and brought them over. I'm really fortunate to have a neighbor that I actually love. And I think it's funny because a lot of people don't even know their neighbors.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to know them.
It is.
You've been there for me so many times. How many times have you told me that I left my garage door open? So thank you for all those times as well. But thank you especially for this recipe.
Wow, you're very sweet. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks so much for checking out this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I also invite you to follow me at Marcy Inspired on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, blessings from my kitchen to yours. And she's going to show us how to make some really delicious pumpkin squares.
Thank you, Marcy, for having us. Having us.
Who else is with you, Traci?
5 other kids. Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right, take 20.
Okay.